Fulvia Aurino.
Fulvia Aurino, General Manager of Italia. So we're gonna see a video, watch a video first of all.
Eccoci.
Okay, here we are. Hi, David. Well, good morning. Welcome. Welcome, Fulvia. I'm very glad to have this contribution from Puig. Maybe you have looked at us for several years, and well, it's a great pleasure for us to have you here. Puig is not exactly a Sisley, but anyway, in terms of beauty sector, well, this is a family-run company. This is not listed on the stock exchange, and well, you also come from a multinational that is listed on the stock exchange. What was the impact with the company? Well, this was a very interesting change, actually. I was born and I grew up in American multinationals with a very similar approach to business, even if we are talking about different categories and different sectors. Well, less than 1 year ago, I joined Puig. This is a family-run company, as you said, founded in 1914. Well, there was a family of businessmen from Catalonia, and the CEO is the third generation nowadays, so the Puig family. So we see that there is a very different business approach, similar to the one that was taught about by Riccardo Fossisley. So the company decided to work in the beauty and fashion sector with great, beautiful brands, Jean-Paul Gaultier, Nina Ricci, Dries Van Noten, etc. And also through licenses Comme des Garçons et Christian Louboutin. And thanks to business, they could also contribute to the growth of this business in a very consistent way, in a very healthy way, by focusing on the right choices, not at all expenses. Well, these are some of the distinguishing features I was entrusted with for the development of the Italian market, so a lot of ambitions of growth. Italy is the fifth country in Europe in terms of turnover, but the second one in terms of growth rate, which is the first one by growth, UK. Well, this is a big recovery after the pandemic. And also the growth forecasts are very, very wide, and also for all the choices that are being made by the company, in which the company really believes. Well, this year, the new 3-year plan of Puig was officially approved. The ambition is to double this business by 2023, reaching 3 billion euros, and multiply it by 3 up to 4.5 billion by 2025. This was a downturn this year. I mean, well, we went through a lot of difficulties this year. And this is also due to very important choices, the digital acceleration, which is a great opportunity for Puig. In the last year, we also had an acceleration, a big acceleration, starting from, well, a smaller point of view, maybe. I mean, a starting point. And in the Adriatic area, in Latin America, we are very strong today, the EMEA area. So we have a lot of opportunities to develop, to further develop. And then also the creation of 3 different departments at the beginning of the year: beauty, fashion, and Charlotte Tilbury, and the third one, Derma. So they work, well, in a parallel way, in a coordinated way, but each of them has to grow not just in terms of core business, also in the world of fragrances, of perfumes, etc. So we really want to be included also and work in the beauty and makeup sector. Well, in order to achieve these goals, I imagine there will be also other brands working together with you, because it's difficult to bring about this kind of leap, this step forward. Well, the figures I mentioned are connected and deal with the development of the current portfolio and the development of these dimensions. Well, so there is this kind of portfolio at the moment. Yes, this is interesting because 4.5 billion, well, is not an average target. It's something that is also very, very valuable from the international perspective. Let's go back to Italy and to your vision of the market. Well, do you think, given the changes of the market, that we will keep a lot of these changes that are not mandatory, something that was done in the last few months due to the specific problem we had? Well, there is always
Ma richiederà di avere un'esperienza di acquisto.
well, this is a great experience and something we also want to learn from the past. We are talking about new figures, and we will go through a standstill, but this is also something supportive, well, a complementary work, but also for the purchase, for the coverage, the local and territorial coverage. So this will be an alternative buying tool that will be used in a parallel way, not just a physical purchase. So the physical purchase has to give an additional experience, well, a distinguishing experience, something rewarding. And this is the responsibility of the distribution and the industry. Well, the idea of spoiling people, the idea of cuddle, etc., etc. So the moment in which you want to get something for you or for someone who you love, so you have to work in the distribution channel, right? In the perfume shops, etc., etc. So there will be also an evolution ahead, yes, in both channels. On the one hand, the experience for the e-commerce, so we can also advance on that in terms of price, in terms of a practical purchase, but also the service, the customization, tailor-made, bespoke products, etc., etc., consulting, etc. So there are a lot of opportunities in the perfume sector, in order to find again and to reestablish what perfume shops used to offer in the past. So a really customized consulting mechanism which is based on that specific product, but in also something that is more progressive through interactive tools, a diversified experience, something that can brings you beyond that. Puig has recently introduced in some of its points of sale, a new brand, the Penanago from UK. This is an artificial intelligence tool, ALICE, and this gives you the opportunity to leave a kind of a preview, smelling preview of a fragrance, of a perfume. And this is just an example. And this can be also an example for many other experiences that are offered by perfume shops, for example. And this is something that will also give consumers the opportunity to choose the physical channel instead of the digital one. Well, regarding consumers, we are not talking just about millennials, they are adults, but also Gen Z. This is also the challenge, and is it enough if we consider what the company offers in order to make some experience, for example, or maybe there's something missing, and what, if so? Well, until a couple of years ago, we were talking about millennials, this new generation, etc., etc., etc. Everyone talked about them, and this was also a new target, but we had already started talking about that. Well, when we talk about millennials today, well, it's a little bit old-fashioned. Gen Z, well, is something different. I have three of them at home. They range and they go from 2000 on. So this is a generation, so 21 years. Yes, they have different characteristics and features, different values. First of all, also our responsibility is to get to know them and offer them something that can bring them again into the world of perfume shops. Well, perfume shops are doing well for, above all, in the makeup world and universe. New diversified offers, so various offers within the sector with different targets, not just from a geographical point of view, but also in terms of habits, for example. Puig, I have to say, well, they are forerunner in this sector because we are launching the first fragrance for the Gen Z, and this is will be done in September. This is a new fragrance, and this was created in the urban world for men, and all the current fragrances are out of the box in a way, and this is a Rabanne fragrance. This is an interactive fragrance, and there will be also the opportunity to communicate with the final consumer through a digital device. I think this is our responsibility as operators of this channel, of this industry, to capitalize on these opportunities, to include this Gen Z target within makeup and for other categories by speaking a language that is the Gen Z language. So we will also have some traditional media, so TV, for example, digital. Well, when I talk about traditional channels, I also think about new social media, for example, such as Twitch for people who are passionate about gaming. That is the target. We always have to start, we have the consumer as a starting point, and we decide, well, and we give them the opportunity to be where they want to be and not where we want them to be. Well, let's go back to Puig. What are the initiatives? Since you care a lot about sustainability, there was also an acceleration on these aspects after COVID, or maybe is it something that is done in the long run for the company? I mean, I have to say something that struck me impressed me in a very positive way when I joined the Puig is this attention that is paid to the environment and sustainability in general. And this is something that is really kept a low profile. I mean, this is a value, something that the company has inside the company itself, and also regardless of what is communicated. Well, the first sustainability plan was done in 2014 when we didn't have these so very strong trends, and it was completed in 2020. All the outcomes were achieved that were set by the company for the reduction of the environmental footprint, which was reduced by 55% at the end of this program by paying attention to all the steps of the supply chain: sourcing, production, manufacturing, delivery, impact, environmental impact, but also within the offices and in the headquarters in Barcelona and in the production sites. We have 100% of sustainable energy, and we also have a reduction by 85% of the use of paper. So very, very insightful figures and numbers. In 2021, we will also have a new plan that was drafted by the company, and we will have also new priorities, a greater program in which the company really believes. Thank you. I think that's it. Thank you very much, Fulvia, and well done once again.